loan for rural electrification projects in Nigeria. So he got that. However, when he met with the Nigerians living in Japan, as is the tradition, right? So he addressed them. That was the moment he told them that, listen, Nigeria is rising again. There are so many opportunities in Nigeria now. And those of us in the diaspora could take the advantage and return back to Nigeria. you know. Meanwhile, majority of us that actually lives outside Nigeria, we are more aware up to date on the happenings in that contraption. And that is why you will see that a lot of those who are the known critics of, the Nigerian regimes, especially this APC, they have been mostly diasporans. And why is that? We have watched from far how supposed commonwealth of the country has been privatized by just few people who have now become so stupendously rich, while their people, our people, have become poorer. So we are watching all of this from far. The impunity, talking about, the institutionalized impunity, human rights abuses, and of course, corruption. To cap it all, we are also seeing the culpability of those in government, right? In relation to the terrorism going on in Nigeria, we have seen the collusion of those who are supposed to tame it, but rather chose to pamper them, offering them amnesty, while their victims are languishing in different IDP camps across the country. Nigerians abroad have been adjudged to be, one of the most productive people abroad, no doubt. Nigerians who have actually excelled. I'm talking about an opportunity that were denied us in that contraption. Many of us came across this opportunity with ease, without any prejudice, where the skin of our color or where we're coming from could be an immediate hindrance. Opportunities that these criminal politicians are advertising to us now is what many actually left the country for. They call it greener pasture. And we have also watched them, right, how they squandered the resources of the country, buying themselves choice properties all over the place. What about the natural resources of the country? They've privatized them too. Now, people are poorer and more terrorized today. But guess what? The productive Nigerians abroad, the diasporans, as they love to put it, right, continues to bail out and subsidize the country. The failures of these criminal politicians, majority of us have become, the real subsidy that keeps Nigeria still going and yet to turn to Venezuela, right? And what do I mean by that? The direct remittances to Nigeria by Nigerians living outside Nigeria has been adjudged to be second in the whole world and the first in the entire Africa. We're talking about remittances that crosses over $30 billion. This money goes into those who are building houses, those who are investing in businesses, those who are carrying out family responsibilities like, housing, healthcare, education, and name it. This money goes into that country every year. And that is so substantial enough that at least it's still keeping Nigeria together a bit. Seriously. But you don't really have to probably admit or understand it, right? But the criminal politicians goes abroad. They spend tens or hundreds of millions of dollars looking for investors that are mostly just looking for their partners in crime, those that they could at least use in moving the country's resources out of the place. to their own choice bank accounts all over the world. So diasporans are not allowed to vote. That's not even a big deal, because those who live in Nigeria are not allowed to vote to choose their leaders to start with. So when Kolu met with the Nigerians in Japan, he was talking about leadership. He said they should return back to Nigeria. Do you know how many people are actually willing to go back to Nigeria? Yeah? If you have an idea of the numbers of Nigerians who want to go back to that contraption, and in the last 10 years, they've been scared away. Why they are scared away? Millions have actually like jackpot too. They ran from the country. Policies, leadership. These are things that will ordinarily attract, right, investors. And if Nigeria is looking for investors, their primary investor should have been the diasporans, who are supposed to be treated with much respect. A majority of you diasporans, you have actually tasted the impunity in that contraption too. Many of you have different stories to tell, while others have not lived to tell the story. Now, this is not me trying to scare you away. Everybody knows what they are doing. But the point is, we cannot keep living in denial, pretending, and especially those of you, the what you call it, the abroadian Nigerians, those of you who always love Nigeria from abroad. I love my country so much. Now, this may be for you, right? Like normally, if it is not really that kind of like effective or important, right? They won't come up and say, oh, why don't you all come back home instead of you jackpotting and the rest of that? So the incentives and wherever it is that some of you have in mind, the reason why people are possibly putting on hold their return back to Nigeria is that it's up to you. You okay to live in that chaos, exist in a lawless, disorderly society where abnormalities are considered normal, where politicians live above the law and the rest. There are people that can really, people have tried though. In fact, as we are watching this video, there are those who actually returned, who are currently in Nigeria right now. You get what I mean now? Like they'll tell you, I've been in Germany for 20 years, 30 years, so I've returned. Guess what? Many of them are actually telling others that, man, you have to put your plan in place. You know what? Those are the ones who went to take the risk. But the risk itself with an insurance. And what is that? If Nigeria happened to them, they have an insurance policy. They are citizens, or they have the citizenship of the countries they've lived for 20, 30 years when they ran away from Nigeria. So, and people have done that. They've come back and they had to run back again. Stories like that. And we have had those who have stayed back and somehow they forget it. But the point is this: if the country is working, right? If indeed it is working, there are millions who have billions that their return will rejig and shake the entire country for real progress. But we are watching these rogues from far. Yeah. So what did Kolu tell them in Japan? Let's start with that before I add my other think pieces. So share the broadcast, right? And of course, I actually put an header, which is interesting. Like under any circumstance or all circumstances, if Tinubu's regime offers you 20 million naira cash, which is like 10,000 pounds or $13,000 or thereabout, would you pack your family and return back to Nigeria permanently? Please answer me with all honesty, right? There are those that will take it. Sure. So I'm not going to say there won't be any. There are those that will say, no, they don't even have to. If they offer me just 10 million, I will leave the UK now. I want to hear from you. But here was a Kolu in Japan. Let's start with this.
It's all about in governance and promoting stability, unity, and the cohesion of our country is primary motive for a change, necessary for us to evolve as a nation. Nigeria being the largest in Africa, in the continent, has a very important role to play. And it is with you that we must play that. First of all, let me ask you, as your passport renewal and visa is in, and is it changing for better or for the worse?
Smoother and quicker.
Better now.
More efficient?
Smoother, quicker, more efficient.
Then you are happy. Okay. Now, if that nationality document is reflecting the expectation of all of you, so you can be assured Nigeria will meet all your expectations. The changes that we embark upon is all about us as a people and leadership of Africa. Don't take it lightly. I'm glad about the diversity of the background that we have, seriousness, and being focused on innovation, 21st century adaptation, and being a very good citizen. Your citizenship is in your passport. Your person is your character. And I'm very, very happy that no negative feedback since we got here. I'm happy to listen to you for whatever. Happy to report to you that many of our people are coming back home. Yes, for economic reasons, some people might decide to stay away. It's fundamental right of individual. But for the economic growth and opportunity that is available in Nigeria, don't stay away. Your contribution is very much in need. It's all about.
No, but we'll calm down. Some of you are already giving different conditions. One true emperor believes that 13K is an insult. He's an American. Absolute insult. I get it. But the point I'm trying to make here is that there are those that even if you offer them 100,000 US dollars or pounds, or even offer them $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. I know. There are those that won't take it. Not because they have millions it is because they are so much well aware that the kind of leadership, ruinous leadership they have in that place, intended by Tinubu and his gang right now, even with your $1 million, you are not safe. No, you're not. And I am saying this from the position of somebody who has lived outside Nigeria for over a decade. After living the first part of my life, I'm talking about nearly the first 3 decades of my life in Nigeria. So I could tell you the difference between the both worlds. And security, this security we are talking about is not just a security of, police guiding you or protecting you. There are so many things, fundamental things, right? That even with your millions, you are not safe. You want me to explain? No, wahala. No, I won't explain. I will give you examples, right? We have those of them who have that millions in Nigeria. But do you know something? They would rather just go abroad for their own medical care than spend their millions in Nigeria, except when they are just like about to, to die. Like, I'm just saying. So with your money, that much money there, probably what it will take for you to really feel safe will be more. But if you have been living in Nigeria all your life, you see what I'm saying right now? It's just going to be like fear mongering. It's going to be like, unpatriotic. Because to you, it's not that bad. But the thing is that it is so worse that you have been so used to it. Yeah? That you can't imagine a world where a police officer could actually approach you to offer you help. Right? And indeed, the criminal politicians won't openly flaunt stolen wealth before you. And you will see the real criminals actually go to jail. Some of you can't imagine it, but I understand. But it does happen. There is no perfect society anywhere. But you know something called the law and order? Baba, there is nobody above it. And that is what kind of like makes a just, orderly society, not chaotic one. Right? So the African Wallace own offer is that if Tinubu would lead the APC and then the PDP members and everybody to Kirikiri and he will join them, then that means he will go back to Nigeria. The bottom line is this: we all have that inner truth inside us, right? That we are doing our best to suppress. And most of the time, our brains are looking for information to justify that. I mean, to justify the suppression of that truth inside you. There's nothing that will happen to you if you tell yourself the truth. Because here, these rogues brought Nigeria to our knees. Nigerians living in Nigeria have been denied opportunity to thrive. Do you understand? You've seen, Nigeria is a place where the citizens are like their mini local government. They construct their road, they constructed their houses, they build their houses, they build their own security, they pay for their own healthcare, they have to provide everything for themselves, including water. And all these guys does is just to take rent from them, charge them, build them all. It is called taxing them. Then rush straight to the TV and say, oh, do you know how much money we made from taxing people this month? Yes, 1 trillion naira. Oh my God, that's a lot. Yeah, that's to tell you that this government is working. So do you know how much we made from them last year, same time? So how much? Well, the whole money we made from them the entire 2024 was just 1 trillion. But when we changed this, our tactic and the rest, when we improved in our technological way of we made 1 trillion in a month. That means we are going to make 12 trillion this year. I say, wow, Nigeria is progressing. While you are groaning under it. You're struggling to fuel your generator in order to power your shop to keep your frozen wares frozen. You have to, can go on and on. They are rent seekers. And majority of us can see that from here. On the one hand, they want to be capitalists. On the other hand, they want to be socialists. They care so much about the poor that they want to give food money to the poor in order to lift them out of poverty. On the other hand, they want to be capitalists, talking about billions and trillions, tall buildings, and these, big projects and all of that, and tell the people to pay for it. While the real infrastructures, the ones that they've abandoned for so long, remained in total dereliction.